Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'm bringing you today's video. Just had a few things I wanted to go over real fast. First, our usual shout out of appreciation to all of our patrons out there. We appreciate all those tips and support, and hope you guys are enjoying the videos that we put out for you guys exclusively every single week, including the How to Deal Craps instructional set that is ongoing. And if you're curious about it, go ahead and check the description of the video down below. And also, I wanted to go over, we've had a couple of questions about the this little neon light thing that we've been putting on some of our other videos. So if anybody's interested in one of these, just shoot us an email at sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. And so I did another test of our live stream, another attempt to do the live stream. So I now know that I have the right equipment, the right camera, the right programming, able to get all of that done. Unfortunately, what I did discover is that my computer was not strong enough, was not powerful enough to be able to encode and upload it as an actual live stream. So I'm going to continue tweaking with that, although it may turn out that I'm just going to have to wait until I can afford to buy a newer, more powerful computer for that. So that will be on the list. So it does look like live streaming may not be as upcoming as I was hoping. It's going to take us a little bit of time to generate that up. And otherwise, please make sure you email us with any questions, strategies, anything you would like us to video. We love shooting these videos for you guys. If not, I'm going to go straight into today's video. So for today's video, I want to answer an email and feature the strategy that was sent in the email from John. I'm sorry it's taken this long for me to get back to you, John. We've been really busy. We've got the big rodeo in town right now, and a lot of other things going on. So yeah, it's definitely getting a little bit difficult for me. Good news, by the way, to everybody. The new computer arrived today, so I will be doing another test live stream coming up sometime soon. And hopefully everything works out well. And then I'll have to, I'll probably do, once it works, I'll do a few live streams here and there. I'm going to actually have to wait for a week or two to find out exactly what schedules are going to be like in order for me to be able to set in stone some live streaming days or times. But moving on to the email. So John sent us an email first with a question and then with a strategy. So his question was actually related to our Patreon. He was actually asking if there was any way to do just a one-time donation to the channel or to us. And unfortunately, at the moment, there is not. You could always do a Patreon and then just cancel it right away. There were options during the premiere videos that we were doing. You could do a super chat or super sticker, which was a great way to tip the channel or help us out. Unfortunately, I stopped doing the premiere videos just because nobody was really showing up. Our absolute peak, we had 15 people on it. So hopefully that does not happen during the live stream, because the live stream will also have the exact same ability. And when people do that during the tournament, I'm actually going to take those super chat or super stickers. We're actually going to set them up as dealer bets during the craps tournament. But hopefully we get a little bit more of a turnout than between 8 to 15 people. It's also one of the reasons that I intend to do a separate live stream just on Patreon, because those patrons are definitely a big part of how we were able to afford to get this newer, higher end computer. So again, John, I'm sorry, but unfortunately at the moment I just don't have any particular way of doing a one-time tip to us. But I do appreciate the thought, and just keep watching our videos. We appreciate every single one of you guys. So the strategy. He was talking about the 1 unit press strategy and how surprising it was and how underrated it really is. I mean, it's incredible when you see it in action and compare it to some of these other strategies, how much it can actually make in the medium term. Obviously, it's gonna take a little bit of a not a beating, but it's going to be quite a few beats behind on, like, say, an hour-long roll. But on, say, a 20-minute roll, the pressing 1 unit strategy might win more money than just about any other strategy out there. So his strategy that he was talking about is on a $25 table. Okay, I like it because you don't find too many. You won't find a $5 table anywhere unless you're extraordinarily lucky. They're still occasionally out there, but rare. And even $10 and $15 tables are getting more and more difficult to find. So on a $25 table, and regardless of the point, I'm assuming, because he doesn't specify, so, well, crap number is not really going to give me a point. So it doesn't really matter what the point may be. So we're going to do a 4. And he does 220 inside, which means that he is doing, if it's a $25 minimum bet table, he's basically doing 2 units. He's basically doing $50 and $60 place bets. But what he is doing is he's doing some regressions. Let's see, what is he regressing it down to? Because some of these are kind of odd. Oh, got it. Aha, okay, got it. So the first time something hits, he regresses that particular number. So let's see, what could we say? No, I don't want to do that. So, really? That's why I don't shoot dice. Okay, so a 9. So if a 9 were to hit, he would get paid his $35, but then he would actually regress himself down to $25. Okay, and then he waits for the next hit. So then the next hit. Oh, wow. See, I'm kind of confused at what he's saying here. Regress first, hit 185 inside, regress to 135 across, no 10. So then he would include the point. So I'm not too sure exactly what it is he's talking about here. But it looks to me, my guess is he's looking for 2 hits, and then he drops down to 135. 135 across, no 10. So he'll include the point. So it looks like the first hit, doesn't really matter. He's just going to regress that particular number down. The second hit, he drops down to 135 across, no 10. And then any hit after that, he immediately places the 10. And then he goes into a power press situation. So let's look at this. Let's look at the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, first hit right here. Second hit, after he's regressed it down, he gets paid $35. And then he's going to regress down to 135, no 10. Okay. I mean, it's not actually worse. Obviously, worst case scenario would be 0.7 out. But now he's going to regress down to, whoa, I don't know why I did that. 135, no 10. So at this point, he has $155 out of his original $220. So now he is only in for $65. He's in $65 into this shooter. Then, the next hit, he's going to place the 10. So anything inside hits is going to get paid $35. So he's going to receive his $10. And then from there, now he goes into a power press. So it has the same strengths and weaknesses of all the other regression strategies that are out there in that it's, one, way behind other strategies when you happen to come across a really, really good roll. And 2, you don't really, I personally don't see much of a gain from the regression. I understand what the attempt is. The attempt is to get it to where you theoretically have nothing from your original bankroll invested in the shooter. You try and get back what you invest right at the beginning so that you theoretically have this quote-unquote free bet. But here's the problem. Here's why I'm not a fan of it. $165. So you are still $55 in the hole on this particular shooter, and you are 3 rolls in. And that's assuming that your numbers hit. That's assuming that right away you had an inside number hit, and then when you went across no 10, that right away you had, that you regressed it, and then the second time you immediately had another inside number hit so that you could regress down, and then you immediately had another one of your numbers roll. Now, these all have high probabilities of rolling, but there are definitely plenty of rolls that after a point is established becomes, an 11 rolls, then a 3 rolls, then maybe a 10, and you're only betting the inside. But ideally, okay, 3 rolls, and you've managed to complete your strategy. The downside to this is you are still $55 in the hole, And after three rolls of the dice, you're $55 in the hole. You have not in the hole, but you have $55 invested in the shooter. So obviously, if a 7 outcomes now, you haven't lost as much. But 3 rolls, when you have a 1 in 6 chance of a 7 rolling every single roll, 3 rolls is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's relatively common. But so is a 7 on the first roll, the second roll, the third roll. So to me, it's just so much that you require an exceptional roll just to be in the slightest bit in the profit. So for me, I personally, this is why I'm not a fan of the regressions, because where people say, oh, now I'm playing off the casino's money, which is not true. It's your money because you won it. You could take it away. The problem is that you have to hit what's already an above average roll just to break even. So let's look at something. So this was saying, this 220 inside, right? And theoretically, after 3 hits, they are only invested $55 into the shooter, right? 3 hits of their numbers. They're invested $55 into the shooter, right? What if you didn't regress anything? What if you regressed nothing? Well, first hit, second hit, third hit. If you regressed nothing after 3 hits of the dice, you are $10 invested in the shooter. You've made back almost all your money. Whereas on the regression, after 3 hits of the dice, you actually only have $165 sitting in your rep. So that's the downside. The plus side is if the 7 out comes on, say, the second or third hit, by regressing, you will have saved some money. You will save some of your bankroll. So it's kind of one of those tomato, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It's really whatever your playing style is. What is your goal? What are you shooting for? And quite possibly, how big is your bankroll? That makes a huge difference on what strategy you may play. So I hope you guys find this interesting, enlightening, and amusing, or just plain entertaining. Thank you very much, John, for sending this to us. And I hope I answered your question. I wish I could have answered it in a different way. Believe me, I wish I could have answered it in a different way. And otherwise, we will catch you guys next time. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Bye now. So, as I promised, I wanted to go over very briefly our upcoming attempts at a third test live stream. So what's happened so far? The first test live stream just flat didn't work. The problem that I had was was an equipment problem. I had an equipment problem in that the equipment that I was using to translate the camera into streamable video to the computer required a better USB port than the computer I was using at the time. So that one just flat failed because it would not translate into the computer. The computer would not pick it up, would not read it, so I wasn't able to live stream it. So then, as I was looking through, because I'm a little bit of a tech head, as I was looking through all of my other stuff, because I do have 4 laptops here and 3 computers, I did find one that actually did have the newer style USB port. Unfortunately, it was actually my oldest laptop, but I figured, what the heck, let me give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? And this time around, when I fired everything up, the video was actually translating onto the computer, so things were looking better. But then when I attempted to live stream, the computer was not powerful enough to be able to translate it and then upload it sufficiently. So it basically just uploaded a blank screen for the live stream. So what I am going to have to do is, and I'm already looking into all of my options, I'm going to upgrade my computer so I can add, what, a 7th, 8th computer to my household. And I'm going to go much, much higher, and I'm going to get a computer that is far more than I need for this, far, far, far more powerful than I need for this. That way, any future upgrades that I may do, the computer will be able to handle it. So unfortunately, this computer is going to cost me about 25% more, about 25% of what I've already laid out in all the equipment for this channel. So it wasn't something I could just instantly buy. I'm probably looking at Black Friday or Cyber Monday. So hopefully I have it within the next couple of weeks, and then I'll do another test live stream and see if I can go from there. So I will definitely do at least one weekly live stream on our Patreon because they're the ones that are really helping us get this computer and the other equipment that I'm going to get, because I figure if I'm buying the computer, I might as well buy the most high-end capture cards and things along those lines, get everything as good as possible, and then hopefully eventually get a better microphone for you guys. So yeah, that's where we stand on the live stream. As soon as I have the computer and I do the test, which will be in a few weeks, like I said, got to order it in a week or two, then I have to wait for it to ship. Plus we have probably the biggest event of the year coming up, the NFR National Finals Rodeo. So I'm basically working 2 weeks straight, as is my wife. So not going to have a whole lot of time. But once we get all that under control, then we'll figure out. There's been some schedule changes to myself, some schedule changes to my wife, and some upcoming schedule changes to my wife as well. So hopefully we can get all the scheduling figured out so I know when I'll be able to live stream as well. My initial plan of Thursdays at 6 o'clock is already out the window. I'm at work at that point now. So we will get it all figured out, and we will let you guys know, I promise. And otherwise, I hope you guys have found this interesting, enlightening, illuminating, or at least just plain fun. And we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.